We live in a time where it seems like if you're not shouting your accomplishments from the rooftops, you're invisible. But I'm here to tell you that there's immense power in quiet success. Let's start by understanding what quiet success really means. It's not about hiding your light under a bushel or being ashamed of your achievements. It's about focusing on substance over show, on genuine accomplishment over the appearance of accomplishment. It's about building a solid foundation rather than a flashy facade. You see, when you're constantly focused on showing off, you're putting your energy in the wrong place. You're more concerned with how things look than with how they actually are. And that, my friends, is a recipe for shallow, short-lived success. Think about it. Have you ever known someone who's always bragging about their achievements, always posting about their latest win on social media? How do you feel about that person? Chances are, after a while, it starts to get a little tiresome. You might even start to question whether they're really as successful as they claim to be. Now contrast that with someone who quietly goes about their business, consistently delivering results, consistently improving, consistently adding value. When you do eventually learn about their achievements, it's usually from someone else singing their praises. And doesn't that have so much more impact? This is the essence of quiet success. It's about letting your work speak for itself. It's about focusing on substance rather than show. It's about being more concerned with actually being successful than with appearing successful. But here's the thing, practicing quiet success isn't easy. We live in a world that constantly encourages us to broadcast our every move, our every achievement, no matter how small. It takes discipline and self-assurance to resist that urge. So why bother? Why not just join in and show off like everyone else seems to be doing? Well, let me give you a few compelling reasons. First, quiet success allows you to focus on what really matters. When you're not constantly concerned with how your actions will look to others, you can concentrate fully on the task at hand. You can put all your energy into actually improving, actually achieving, actually adding value. Think about some of the most successful people you know. I'm not talking about celebrities or social media influencers. I'm talking about people who have built something substantial, who have made a real difference in their field. Chances are they didn't get there by constantly showing off. They got there by putting in the work day after day, often when no one was watching. Second, quiet success builds genuine respect and admiration. When people discover your achievements organically, either through word of mouth or by experiencing the results of your work firsthand, it has a much more powerful impact than if you had told them yourself. It's like the difference between someone telling you they're funny and someone actually making you laugh. Which one leaves a stronger impression? Third, quiet success gives you room to fail and learn without public scrutiny. And make no mistake, failure and learning are essential parts of any success journey. When you're not constantly in the spotlight, you have the freedom to experiment, to take risks, to make mistakes and learn from them without the added pressure of public opinion. Think about scientists working on breakthrough research. They don't announce every hypothesis, every experiment, every minor discovery. They work quietly, persistently, often for years, before they have something substantial to share with the world. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Jim, in today's world, don't I need to promote myself to get ahead? Isn't personal branding important? And you're right to a certain extent. There's a time and place for sharing your achievements. The key is in the how and the why. When you do share your successes, do it with humility and gratitude. Do it to inspire others, to show what's possible, not to boost your own ego. And most importantly, make sure you have something substantial to share. Don't mistake activity for achievement. Remember, true personal branding isn't about constantly telling people how great you are. It's about consistently being great, consistently delivering value, consistently making a positive impact. When you do that, your personal brand will build itself. Let's talk about another benefit of quiet success. It keeps you hungry. When you're constantly showing off, constantly seeking validation from others, it's easy to become complacent. You might start to believe your own hype and lose that drive to keep improving. But when you practice quiet success, you're not relying on external validation. Your motivation comes from within. You're driven by your own standards, your own goals, not by the applause of others. And that, my friends, is a much more sustainable and powerful form of motivation. Think about it like this. A tree that grows slowly, quietly developing strong roots is much more likely to withstand storms than a tree that grows quickly but superficially. Quiet success is about developing those strong roots, about building a solid foundation that can support long-term, sustainable success. Now let's address another objection I often hear, but Jim, if I don't promote myself, how will opportunities come my way? Don't I need to put myself out there? And it's a valid concern. But here's the truth. Real opportunities, the kind that lead to substantial success, don't come from showing off. They come from consistently adding value. When you focus on quiet success, on consistently doing great work, on consistently solving problems and adding value, opportunities will find you. People will seek you out. Your reputation will precede you. Think about the last time you needed to hire someone for an important job. Did you go for the person who was constantly broadcasting their skills on social media? Or did you look for someone with a solid track record, someone who came highly recommended by people you trust? That's the power of quiet success. It builds a reputation that speaks louder than any self-promotion ever could. But let me be clear, practicing quiet success doesn't mean being invisible. It doesn't mean never sharing your achievements or insights. It means being selective about what you share and why you share it. It means focusing more on giving than on getting. It means being more concerned with making a difference than with making an impression. Let's talk about another aspect of quiet success, the peace of mind it brings. When you're constantly showing off, constantly seeking validation, you're putting your sense of self-worth in the hands of others. Your happiness becomes dependent on likes, comments, and applause. But when you practice quiet success, your sense of self-worth comes from within. It comes from knowing you've done your best, from knowing you've added value, from knowing you're consistently growing and improving. And that, my friends, is a much more stable foundation for happiness and fulfillment. Think about some of the happiest, most content people you know. Chances are they're not the ones constantly broadcasting their achievements. They're the ones who are secure in themselves, who don't need constant external validation. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, Jim, this all sounds great in theory, but how do I actually put it into practice? How do I resist the urge to show off in a world that seems to reward it? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me give you some practical strategies for cultivating quiet success. First, focus on the process, not just the outcome. Instead of fixating on the end result and how impressive it might look to others, immerse yourself in the day-to-day work of getting better. Fall in love with the practice, with the craft, with the journey of improvement. When you do this, you'll find that the need to show off diminishes because you're not doing it for the applause. You're doing it for the love of the work itself. Second, practice gratitude. When you're truly grateful for what you have and what you've achieved, you're less likely to feel the need to broadcast it to others. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you want others to think of you to what you already have. Make it a habit to write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. This simple practice can profoundly shift your perspective and reduce the urge to seek validation through showing off. Third, celebrate others' successes. When you're genuinely happy for others' achievements, when you're secure enough in yourself to shine the spotlight on someone else, you're practicing quiet success at its finest. Not only does this create goodwill and strengthen relationships, but it also shifts your mindset from competition to collaboration. And in today's interconnected world, collaboration is often the key to the biggest successes. Fourth, set internal standards. Don't measure your success by external markers like social media likes or even salary. Set your own standards for what constitutes success, standards that align with your values and long-term goals. When you do this, you're no longer at the mercy of others' opinions. Your sense of achievement comes from knowing you've met or exceeded your own high standards, not from the fleeting validation of others. Fifth, practice delayed gratification. In a world of instant everything, there's immense power in being able to work towards long-term goals without immediate reward. This is a cornerstone of quiet success. Instead of seeking instant gratification through showing off small wins, focus on building something substantial over time. The satisfaction of achieving a long-term goal far outweighs the fleeting pleasure of social media likes. Now, let's talk about another crucial aspect of quiet success, continuous learning. When you're focused on showing off, you're often trying to project an image of perfection, of having it all figured out. But true success comes from a willingness to always be learning, to always be growing. Quiet success means being secure enough to say, I don't know, but I'll find out. It means being more interested in gaining knowledge than in appearing knowledgeable. It means being a lifelong student, always curious, always open to new ideas and perspectives. This approach not only leads to genuine growth and improvement, but it also makes you much more appealing to work with. People are drawn to those who are humble enough to learn, who are more interested in understanding than in being right. Think about the most successful people in any field. They're often the ones who never stop learning, who are always seeking to improve, who are more interested in mastering their craft than in mastering their image. But here's the thing about continuous learning. Much of it happens in private. It's the hours spent reading, practicing, experimenting when no one's watching. It's the willingness to make mistakes and learn from them without an audience. This is quiet success in action. Now, let's address another common concern. But Jim, in today's competitive world, won't I be overlooked if I don't promote myself? It's a valid question, and the answer might surprise you. You see, in a world where everyone is shouting for attention, there's something incredibly powerful about quiet confidence. When you consistently deliver results without fanfare, when you consistently add value without seeking credit, people notice. And not just any people, the right people. The kind of opportunities that lead to substantial, lasting success don't come from showing off. They come from building a solid reputation over time. They come from word-of-mouth recommendations. They come from the trail of value you leave behind you. Think about it this way. Would you rather be the person who's always talking about how great they are, or the person about whom others say, you need to work with them, they're amazing? Quiet success builds a reputation that precedes you. It creates a mystique and intrigue. People become curious about you. They want to know your secrets. And when they do discover your achievements, the impact is far greater than if you had told them yourself. But let's be clear, practicing quiet success doesn't mean never sharing your achievements. It means being selective about what you share and why you share it. It means sharing from a place of giving, not getting. It means sharing to inspire, to teach, to add value, not to inflate your own ego. When you do share your successes, do it with humility and gratitude. Acknowledge the role others have played in your achievements. Use your success as a platform to lift others up, not to elevate yourself above them. This approach not only feels better, but it's also more effective. People are much more likely to celebrate your success when you're humble about it, when you use it as an opportunity to add value to others. Now, let's talk about another powerful aspect of quiet success, the freedom it gives you. When you're not constantly concerned with how you appear to others, when you're not always trying to impress, you have the freedom to take risks, to experiment, to fail and learn without fear of public scrutiny. This freedom is crucial for innovation and growth. Some of the biggest breakthroughs in history came from people who were willing to work quietly, persistently, often for years without recognition. They weren't concerned with short-term applause. They were focused on long-term impact. Think about scientists working on breakthrough research, or artists developing their craft, or entrepreneurs building the next big thing. The real work, the important work, often happens in private, away from the spotlight. Quiet success gives you the space to do this deep, meaningful work without the pressure of constant public performance. It allows you to focus on substance rather than show, on actual improvement rather than the appearance of success. But here's the catch. Practicing quiet success requires confidence. Not the brash, showy kind of confidence that needs constant external validation, but a deep inner confidence that comes from knowing your own worth. This kind of confidence isn't born overnight. It's built over time through consistent action, through overcoming challenges, through continuously improving and adding value. It's the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth isn't determined by others' opinions, but by their own standards and values. Cultivating this confidence is a crucial part of mastering the art of quiet success. It's what allows you to resist the urge to show off, to stay focused on your goals even when no one's watching, to keep pushing forward even without immediate recognition. So how do you build this confidence? It starts with self-awareness. Get to know yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your values, your goals. The better you know yourself, the less you'll need others' validation. Next, focus on personal growth. Set challenging but achievable goals for yourself and work consistently towards them. Each small win, each bit of progress builds your confidence. Develop your skills. There's immense confidence that comes from knowing you're good at what you do. Invest time in mastering your craft and becoming so good they can't ignore you. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when you make mistakes. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer a good friend. This builds resilience and inner strength. And finally, surround yourself with supportive people. While quiet success means not needing constant external validation, it doesn't mean isolating yourself. Having a strong support system, people who believe in you and encourage your growth, can be incredibly empowering. Now, as we near the end of our time together, I want to address one last point, the legacy of quiet success. You see, when you practice quiet success, you're not just building a career or a business. You're building a legacy. Quiet success is about making a real, lasting impact. It's about adding value that continues long after you're gone. It's about influencing others not through show and tell, but through your actions and your example. Think about the people who've had the biggest impact on your life. Chances are they weren't the loudest or the most showy. They were probably the ones who quietly but consistently showed up, who added value without seeking credit, who inspired through their actions more than their words. That's the power of quiet success. It builds a legacy of substance, of real impact, of lives changed and value added. And isn't that, in the end, what true success is all about? So, my friends, as you leave here today, I challenge you to embrace the art of quiet success. Focus on adding value, on consistent improvement, on making a real impact. Let your work speak for itself. Let your actions be louder than your words. Remember, the loudest voice isn't always the most powerful. Often it's the quiet, consistent force that creates the biggest waves. Be that force. Practice quiet success and watch as your life, your career, and your impact grow in ways you never imagined possible. Thank you.